There are a handful of reasons we find ourselves in a tree on a cold October or November morning. Some hunters are after a specific buck, while others are just looking to fill the freezer. But this story is all about how a Marine Corps veteran was looking for some peace and quiet following his 2 tours in Afghanistan, and how that relaxing getaway quickly turned into a thrill of a lifetime. Luke Brewster, 30 years old at the time and a resident of Virginia, had always had a passion for the outdoors, but his bow hunting journey started only a few years before rewriting the record books. After returning from his deployment, he spent plenty of his downtime fishing with some friends who eventually convinced him to pick up bow hunting. After nailing down the details, he found a place he could hunt, some good company to help share their experience with him, and dedication to honing his skills on the range. He was finally ready to give bow hunting a shot. In 2015, he set out for his first hunt, which took place on a permission parcel in eastern Illinois, which was no short drive. Although he left his first visit without releasing an arrow, he found himself hooked. With his personal life picking up between his soon-to-be wife and work, he was unable to make it back in 2016. Ready to get back in the stand, he netted a solid 10-point buck in 2017, but this buck would quickly be overshadowed in the season to come. The eventual record-breaking Brewster buck was no stranger when the buck was finally harvested in 2018. First caught on camera in 2014, said to be about a 150-inch buck at that point. They knew he was going to be special. Luke and his partners had given this buck the name Mufasa. After a few more seasons, this story nearly came to a close in 2017 when Justin Searlock, one of the members of Team Mufasa, let one fly and missed wide right. If he would have connected in 2017, this record-breaking buck would have never reached its full potential. After that close call the year before, Mufasa resurfaced for the first time on camera only a few days before Luke found himself at full draw with this world record buck in plain sight. Team Mufasa drew stands for the next morning, and funny enough, Luke had the last pick on a stand and decided to get away from the premier stands and one that he had never even sat in and one that hadn't had any action in about 5 years. After struggling to find the stand the next morning, he finally found himself in the tree and got his bearings. He arranged to scrape 26 yards away, which is where Mufasa stopped after he followed in a few does. Luke, at full draw, went through his mental checklist, steadied himself, and released. The man with limited experience in the stand was a seasoned vet when it mattered most, and with a clean shot, the beast ran off 40 yards, escaped his line of sight before hearing it crash. Luke had done it. Unable to wait any longer, he followed where he last heard the buck and found him almost immediately. Brewster snapped a picture, sent it to the group chat of Team Mufasa, and took a moment to take it all in. He had just harvested the largest deer ever by a hunter. Luke, humble from the beginning, has referred to it as the Mufasa buck rather than the Brewster buck, saying that he couldn't have done it without the help of his friends, who not only helped teach him the sport, but also handling the stand placements, cameras, and tending the food plots. The giant non-typical is a dream buck for sure, sporting 39 scoreable points in a 14x25 configuration, initially receiving a 60-day entry score of 320 in 5/8 inches. Panel scoring by the Pope and Young Club and Boone and Crockett Club measures on March 1st of 2019 in Omaha, Nebraska, up the final numbers of the Brewster buck to a staggering 337 and 1/8 inches gross and 327 and 7/8 inches net. Those final figures put the Brewster buck more than 33 inches ahead of Mike Beatty's previous Pope and Young world record non-typical buck, a 39-point Ohio archery kill in 2000 that measures 294 and 0/8 inches. What's even more impressive, the Brewster buck is also now the largest whitetail ever killed by a hunter anywhere in the world, topping Stephen Tucker's 47-point Tennessee Monarch on November 2016 that scored 312 and 0/8 inches. At the top of the Boone and Crockett record book, Brewster's buck only falls behind the 330-inch Missouri Monarch buck, a 44-point non-typical buck entry that was found dead in St. Louis in 1981, and the 328-inch hole-in-the-horn buck, 45 points, that was found in 1940 in Ohio. That makes Brewster's giant Illinois whitetail the third biggest buck of all time to walk the face of the earth.